Hello everyone, my name is Smithy and welcome back to another Leagues 4 Trailblazer Reloaded video. Today we are going to be going through the different regions that we have available and kind of ranking them on my personal preference, what I'm going to be picking, and yeah, just kind of discussing kind of the main content that you can unlock by doing... Sorry, I bloody sneezed. By picking, I should say, the areas that we've got up for grabs. So obviously we're going to start off with Misalin, there we go, which is where we're going to be starting off in the league. We are actually given Misalin and Karamja from the get-go. Well, that is the assumption at the moment. Knowing Jagex, they may mix it up, but going by what we had in Trailblazer League, those are the two places that we started off with, right? So they are going to be the ones that we're going to go through first. So with Misalin, we've got the Abyssal Sire there, with the bludgeon. You've got the dagger, the Abyssal Dagger, and the Abyssal Whip. You've also got options there with the Rune Crossbow. If you are going to be looking at getting, say, a Draconic Visage, pairing Misalin with Fremennik is how you get that, and the same with the Dragon Hunter Crossbow. Dragon Pickaxe, you can get that from Misalin because you can get it from the Volcanic Mine, and you also got the other Visage, the Ancient Wyvern one. As well, which you also can get from Kandarin, but we're going to be getting that from the get-go with Misalin. Obviously, after you do the Bon Voyage quest. Jesus, imagine being able to speak. It's great, isn't it? Also, correction on the Draconic Visage. You can get it in Misalin, I believe, and Fremennik, because you can get it from Vorkath, right? So Misalin, I mean, we've got here F. We take this because we're forced to. I mean, in comparison to everything else, there's not loads of really, really exciting content there. There's very useful content, but I guess I don't really want to drop it in F. I think it's, let's put it in F for now because, maybe we readjust it later, but because we are forced to have it, that's where it's going to sit for now. Karamja, we've got the Obby set. That you can get from the the Obby demons, the Zars and all that, in where Jad is and all that fun stuff. Which leads me on to the Obby cape that you can get, and then obviously all the weapons that come from there, like the shield, the maul, the weird claw dagger thing that I can never remember the name of. Then obviously you got the fire cape and the Infernal cape. Now, Inferno, I should say, I'm mixing my words up. Pure endgame content, let's face it, which is going to be a fun, finishing off bit of content to do after you've done everything, I guess. I know some people, the Inferno is piss easy for them. For someone like me, no. But yeah, the Inferno is definitely a challenging piece of content, but a fun bit of content when you think of all of the relics and stuff that we're going to be able to unlock that are probably going to make it a breeze. Jad, obviously, on most accounts, it is your stepping stone into PVM. Good bit of content as well. It's decent Slayer if you can get a Jad task. Kourend ones are another thing that Karamja has to offer. And also you can get an Onyx from there as well, because you can trade in runes into the store in the Lava Lands to get yourself a Onyx. However, with that, you are going to need Kandarin, I believe. Is it Kandarin? Or is it Asgarnia? It is Kandarin, Kandarin, because demonic gorillas. So, Onyx, on its own, yeah, you can make yourself a Fury, but you're not going to be able to upgrade it if you're not going to pick Kandarin. But for now, we'll drop Karamja in the F tier. Wow. Next one, and one that I am probably going to be picking, is Asgarnia. Now, Asgarnia is pretty rich in content. You've got God Wars Dungeon, which, you know, all the God Wars bosses. Since last Trailblazer League that we had, we've got the introduction of Nex for Torva and the ZCB and all the God Swords as well that you've got with God Wars Dungeon. You've got the Staff of the... Is it Staff of the Dead? Yeah. You've also got the Hasta. But I guess if you're going to make the Hasta, you can get yourself a Zami Spear, but to make the Hasta, you're going to need Kandarin as well. And then Max Cape, that's where you can go and get that in Asgarnia. Void Set as well, which last time there was, I think there was a couple of relics that were based around Void Set buffs, which is a really easy set of armor to get that's rather good. In main game, I think it's shit. In leagues, it's pretty lit. You've also got Cerberus as well, with the best in slot boots in the game, and then the Smouldering Stone as well. There's bound to be some form of task for chopping a log and burning it at the same time. There'll probably be a relic for that, but the Smouldering Stone is one way that you can get it, I guess. You've also got Defenders, which, you know, if you're going to get yourselves Morytania, you can then upgrade it to an Avernic Defender. And then you've got like the armor crossbow, and you've got other options there for the rune crossbow as well. Asgarnia is also like a feeder region, I see it as. It's going to be really easy to get some easy points there, just by the nature of it being, I don't want to say gathering area, but it's a utility area. Let's go with that. That's a good word. Yeah, I think Asgarnia got a lot of fun content, got a lot of useful content, so we're going to be dropping it in. I want to bridge the line between B and C. I'm going to put it in B, but to be or not to be, that is the question. I'd put it on the line between B and C if we were being, you know, full on. It's a B.5 or a C.5, whatever you want to look at it as. It's a B/C area. Now the desert, obviously, since the last Trailblazer League that we had, TOA has been added. Personally, I'm not a massive fan of TOA. I think it's a little bit boring, but a lot of people love TOA. Desert was one of the lowest picked areas last Trailblazer League. I think it's probably going to be one of the most picked area this time around, because obviously you've got the staff that you can get from there, and obviously the Missouri, whatever it is, the outfit, the Rangers set from there as well. You've also got the light bearer, and you've got the shield as well. But I guess if you want the shield, you're going to need to unlock the wilderness, because you're going to need to put it onto is it the I can never remember the name of it because I've never had one. The Spirit Shield is an upgrade for that. You've also got the Fang that you can get from there as well, from the from TOA. The desert also offers ancient spells, which is a huge thing. And then you can obviously DT2, which is the worst question in the game if you're asking me. You're going to get the upgrade for that as well. With that, you've got the Ancient Staff. You've also got Smoke Staff, Pharaoh Scepter as well. And then you've got the Wands as well, which if you pair that with, say, Zaya or Kourend, whatever we're calling it on... Yeah, Kourend. Zaya, Kourend, same fucking thing. Combine that with the to make the Kodai as well. You've also got Temperos there as well, which is another easy boss to get resources from. And then you got Bones to Peaches from the Mage Training Arena. And obviously you get the robes from there as well, and all the other spells that you can get from there too. Blackjacking is another thing, granite mining and sandstone, which, you know, is going to be pretty big for crafting and just mining in general, especially if you're one of those who do 3 ticking and all that shit. It's no from me, Chief, but you do you. You've also got other options there for getting the dragon pickaxe as well. You then got the new rings for the Altar Ring, you need the desert, Kourend and Fremennik. Magnus Ring, you're going to need the desert, but also pair it with Fremennik as well. The Bellator Ring, you're going to need desert, Asgarnia and Fremennik for that. And then the Venator Ring, you're going to need the desert and Fremennik for that. Because I'm not a massive fan of the TOA, which is the big selling point for the desert now, this is going to be controversial. I'm putting it in B. I don't think TOA has shit on Chambers. I don't think it has shit on TOB either. Yeah, I think there's not... For me, yeah, Ancients is good, especially if you're going with a mage build. But for me, I'm looking at maybe a range or a melee build, so it doesn't really fit what I'm looking for from leagues. Yeah, it's B for me. It's a B for me, which is probably going to piss off some people. But hey, let me know in the comments what you think about that. I've seen a few other YouTubers doing tier list of areas, and they always put it in S. I'm like, no, stop it. S for stop. You've then got Fremennik, which you've obviously got the Nezi helm, and then the upgraded Nezi helm with the Basilisk jaw. You've got the other Visage that I can't remember the name of. That is the skull with the green eyes. Then obviously you've got DKs with all the rings that provides. You've also got the Phantom Musfa, or as I like to call it, the big fat slug. You've got the new bow from there. I also think the slug is going to be a massive moneymaker in this league because its drop table is insane. Yeah, so you've got the bow from there, and then obviously if you pair Fremennik with the desert, you can then upgrade the ancient staff as well. You've also got options there for DKs for getting your dragon axe. And then you've got access to Keldagrim, which means you can access the marble and the gold thing that you use to upgrade your ornament, your pool in your house. So if you're looking at maxing out a player-owned house, you've got a lot of options there. You've also got the Lunar Spellbook, which is pretty OP for doing crafting and magic and all that sort of shit. And then you've got the Lighthouse Quest. Is it Lighthouse Quest that you get it with? But anyway, God Books, which are fantastic bit of kit, especially if on the lower side of building up your account. God Books, sick. Especially if you can load them out of all the pages with clues, which clues I think are going to be a big thing again in this leagues. Because clues have so much good content behind them, like good items behind them. And I believe that they're going to be... The steps that you get are locked to your region as well, which is pretty sick. You've also got the Draconic Visage as well, again, which you'll be able to get from Vorkath. Yeah, so, Fremennik is a solid pick. For me, I don't want to say... It's a lot of mid-game content, so maybe like a second-round pick for Fremennik. But I think for me it's a C. If I'm putting Desert's B, I think for me it's a C. Now we move on to Kandarin, and again, it's a utility area for me. It's like a first pick. It's a first round pick, same as Asgarnia. First round, again, a lot of really useful content there. Especially if you're going for a mage build, you've got some options there for building up your mage setup with the Iban staff, and then moving up to the trident, and then if you're going to be doing the desert, you've again got the shadow, and obviously the occult as well. Once you start getting late game slayer, yeah, it's definitely the way you want to go if you're doing a mage build. Now you've also got is it the smoke and dust battle staff? I think it is the one that I can't remember the bloody name. Smoke Devils? What they drop? Not Smoke Devil. Thermonuclear thingy. You know what I mean. That drops those combination staffs as well. You've also got BA there. So you've got the fighter torso and then the granite stuff that offers. No one picking granite. But yeah, fighter torso. If it's anything like the last league with the task, there was a lot of BA tasks, which is BS if you ask me. Because BA is shit. But fighter torso, fantastic item, especially on the lower levels. You've also got the dragon scimitar when you do Monkey Madness. Again, with Monkey Madness, you've got the Zenites for upgrading those Onyx items, which best in slot jewelry across the board. Let's face it, especially if you're going with a melee build or just actually Zenites pair with every single build in the game. So good shit. For me, with what I want to achieve from leagues, for me it was between Kandarin and Asgarnia for my first pick. And I think I'm going to have to go with Asgarnia because God Wars Dungeons is way too fun in leagues to leave out. And then with with Demonics, you've also got the Ballistas. You've got the Abyssal with the Tentacle Whip as well from Kraken, which is Kraken is good shit. It's a good boss, especially if you can get lucky and get yourself some tasks on it and a few tasks on it. Trident and the tentacle Kraken stuff. See what I did there? You've also got pairing, that you get access to the Dwarven Cannon, which pretty good for Slayer tasks. You've also got the is it Mythic Cape as well, which if you're going to be pairing it with Wilderness and you're going to go to Corp and that best in slot cape there. I don't know, I never do Corp, it's too scary. But also if you're going for a melee build, Piety is locked behind Kandarin as well. So that is another one to think about. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to move up Asgarnia. I'm going to put Kandarin in A as well. Because I think either of these should be your should be your first pick. One of these, just with how good they are. And the level of tasks that are going to be in there as well, they're going to be very easy. You can get points on the board really quick and move on to unlocking your second area and getting those relics unlocked as well and getting onto the multipliers on XP and good shit. All right, good shit. First round picks. Boom. It's like we're doing a draft. Morytania. Now, Morytania, I bloody love that place. Barrows. If you follow my Iron Man series, I've got a love-hate relationship with Barrows. He just gives you sick armor for everything, right? For melee, yeah, cool, grand. For range, yeah, cool, grand. For mage, yeah, cool, grand. It sets you up armor-wise for a long while until you start getting lucky and getting other drops, Barrows, love it. You've also got the Slayer Tower there, Gargoyles, Abyssal Demons, so you can get yourself a whip. The biggest thing from Slayer, now if you're planning on getting yourself a Slayer mask, you're going to need Morytania because it's the only place you can get a black mask, and that's the only way you can then make your Slayer helm. So, thinking about that. Ring boots you can also get from there. So if you're not going to be picking Asgarnia, because it's the only place you get dragon boots, it's a good pick for maybe some options with little booties. You've also got the Salve amulet. So if you're going to be doing TOB. Salvami. You're already getting TOB because you've done Morytania, but if you for chambers, Salvami is quite useful on the old Mystics. What is Mystics? Are they called Mystics? I can't remember. Anyway, you've also got the agility thing that's there, where you get the Ring of Endurance, Blood Fury as well. You get your Blood Shard from the they're not vampires, are they? Are they? Maybe. I don't know. Either way, Blood Shard. It's in Morytania, mate. The Justica armor from TOB. Again, big tanky boy armor. Great stuff. The Scythe as well. And then you've got the Sang Staff. TOB has insane drops, right? It's also real fun kind of endgame content. So if you're looking to learn TOB like myself, Morytania, baby. Morytania is where it's at. And then you've also got the Nightmare with the Inquisitor's armor, and then you've got the staff that you get from there as well. And then you've also got the rapier that comes from TOB. I forgot about that. And then if you're picking Asgarnia and you pick Morytania, you can upgrade that lovely, lovely defender to an Avernic, like I said before. Morytania for me, I bloody love it. I bloody love Morytania. Oh, where's he going to go? Is he going to go in A? Is he going to put it in F? It's an S tier, baby. Morytania is an S tier. It's got it all. It's got breaching into mid-game content with Barrows, Slayer, loads of money to be made there. Then you've got endgame stuff. You've got early endgame with Nightmare. And then you've got TOB, baby. TOB. Don't forget, this is all my opinions, by the way. I could be talking out my arse, probably am. But for me, S, baby. Then you got Tirannwn. How do you pronounce it? It's a weird one, the Elven Lands, because there's some really good content there. Obviously, you've got Zulrah, Blowpipe, what's it called? Oh god, I've got one, Serphelm, which, you know, fantastic for raiding. Blowpipe, one of the best range items in the game when you don't consider the Bowfer and the T-bow. Oh wait, Bowfer, you say, can also get that in the Elven Lands if you fancy locking yourself at the Red Prison. You've also got the blade that you can get from there. You've got the crystal shield as well, and then you've obviously got the crystal armor too. Which, if you're going for a range build, it's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout. Also, if you want to be looking at, you know, upgrading your tools, you've got the crystal tool seed that you can get from Zalcano. Zalcano just prints smithing supplies. So, and also some crafting supplies, I guess, as well. Yeah, so if you're looking to go down that path of skilling, it's not a bad pick, you know? It's not a bad pick. But for me, I don't know. I don't want to stick it in D. I think it has to sit with Fremy in C for me. You know, it's... I don't think it's going to be on the score sheet for a lot of people. I think it's going to be one of the least picked ones. I've not heard anyone looking at picking it either. But it's definitely an interesting area. Okay? Wilderness is the next one. Since last leagues, the Wilderness has had a massive facelift. We've got things like the Void Waker and the other upgraded wieldy weapons. The big old rework on wieldy bosses as well. I've spoken to quite a few people who are going to be looking at, definitely going to be going into the Wilderness in leagues. I remember last time I did a second build where I was going in the Wilderness. It's not PKs there, to be honest. So if that's your concern, wipe it from your brain, man. Wipe it from your brain. It's also in the Wilderness, you've got the God Balls dungeon there. And you've got options on Dragon Boots there too. You've then got the shields that you can get, which are pretty good. I don't know, I never used them, but yeah, they're there. Obviously, you've got the Dragon Pick from the Wilderness bosses too. You've also got options for the Rune Crossbow, and then you've got the Wilderness Rings as well. And then you've got, Mage Training Arena 2 with the God Capes, which, you know, if you're going for a mage build, kind of your best in slot there, my man. So yeah, Wilderness, definitely a lot of fun content in there, definitely a lot of useful content in there. I don't want to put it in C, maybe a B. I mean, I'm not personally going to be picking it. Again, it's bridging the line, all right? If I could put it on the line, I would. I'm going to put it in C with the other kind of mid pickings, so like your second pick. And then this takes me on to the big boy Kourend. Now, Kourend, loads of content. Might even be... It is also a contender for your first pick, but it could also be your second pick. It could also be your third pick. Personally, I think I might go with it for my first instead of Asgarnia, thinking about it. Kourend is massive. All right, there's a whole range of content in there from beginner's game to mid game to end game without Thanos. Obviously, Chambers, you've got the Ancestral set, you've got D-Claws, you've got the Elder Maul, you've got the big boy T-Bow, you know. Obviously, I keep saying obviously, with the buffed drop rates as well, I think we're going to probably seeing a lot of T-Bows. You've also got the Dins, and you've got the range shield, buckler, twisted buckler, as well, which, you know, they're all right. They're good. They're there. They're chilling. They're having a good time. You've got the Dragon Hunter crossbow, which with some of these range relics, I think they're going to be insane. You've then got the upgraded prayers as well, which, you know, fantastic. Especially if you're going for a range build, especially if you're going for a mage build. They're definitely in there for a shout. You've also got options for the Dragon Axe there with Wintertodd, which also means that you can get the Tome. You've also then got the Arceus Spellbook with the prayer training methods that you've got there. What's it? Sarachnis with a Cudgel. You know, if you're going to be doing Nightmare, it's not a bad Bosch weapon to start off with. You've then got the ring that you can get from Hydra, the Hydra ring. I can't remember the name of it. And also you got Brimhaven boots as well, which, you know, if you're doing a weird build with magic and range, they're pretty good. You know, I've used them for a long while. They're pretty fucking sound. A lot of like endgame items in there, but also the plethora of stuff that you can do in Kourend with Hive Farm, for example, for farming. You got the farming guild there as well, and you got shamans with the big old dragon warhammer. If you were to pair it with Asgarnia, you can make yourself the Dragon Hunter Lance with the Arclight. If you paired yourself with the Desert, you can make Arclight. And like I said, with the Kodai Wand, you're going to need the Desert paired with Kourend to be able to make that. Kourend, I'm going to do it. I'm going all the way to the top, baby. It's an S tier region for me. All right, for me. These are my picks on what I think about the different regions in Trailblazer. Reloaded. I'll be back, baby. If I was to like put in, I'm not gonna move these because they, you know, there's no. I don't want to put them in. Now, looking at it, yeah, I'm kind of happy with how that's set out. I think putting any of these 3 in D is a disservice to them. I'm definitely not moving that place up. TOA, man. I don't know. I really don't like it. But anyway, those are my picks. If I was to go through them quick and go where I would pick them, Morytania would probably be 3rd. Maybe 2nd. Depends how quickly we can unlock regions, to be honest. Kourend, I'm thinking 1st pick. Asgarnia is either 1st or 2nd for me. Same with Kandarin, if you're going to be picking Zaya or Kourend. TOA for me would be a 3rd pick. Fuck that place. And then, Desert would be a 3rd pick. I guess if you're going for a mage build, maybe a 2nd pick. And then these 3... I'd probably say 2nd or 3rd, you know, for just extra content to do, you know what I mean? But I'm not dissing on them. I know a lot of people like them, but are going to be picking Fremy and Wildy. Not heard anyone picking Tirannwn. So if you are, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you're going to be picking. Let me know what you think of my views. If you think they stink, let me know. I'm sure you will. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys have found this video interesting or useful or just entertaining. Wow. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe. If you're new around here, please subscribe. I'm going to be doing daily Leagues content when it drops. And yeah, come join the Discord to talk about everything Leagues. Stay safe, and I'll see you all in another video. Bye.